Every engineering project or product is created with a purpose in mind. When we consider all the projects and products within an engineering business, we begin to see the overarching purpose of that business. A business plan defines the company's purpose from the very beginning, ensuring that all product and service decisions align with that core purpose. When starting a new enterprise, it's vital to take a step back from those exciting product or innovation ideas and test the founder's assumptions. Why are they starting this business? Who will they serve? What will they offer? This lays a solid foundation for a thriving startup. In this film, we'll help you guide your students to understand the purpose of a business model, the vital role of vision and values in innovation-driven enterprises, and explore different revenue models and how they create value for customers. A business model is the core of any enterprise. It articulates the reason for the business, what they intend to sell, and how revenue will be generated. A well-defined business model is crucial. It embodies the founder's assumptions about the enterprise's reason for existence, its operational approach, and its future aspirations. Clarifying and testing these assumptions is essential for building a robust and resilient business. The business model works hand in hand with a business strategy or plan that describes how the business will deliver the model and outperform competitors. While there are various definitions of what a business plan should include, it typically encompasses these key elements. A mission statement defines the business, why it exists, and the difference it aims to make for customers. A vision describes future aspirations, a better version of the future for both customers and the enterprise. Values are the guiding principles that dictate decisions and actions, defining how the business is conducted and interacts with others. The products or services are what is offered to achieve the mission and vision, and the unique value provided to customers. A revenue model describes how the business will generate income. While most enterprises aim for profit, some may operate as charities or social enterprises, reinvesting profits to create a positive impact. It's important to emphasize to students that the definitions and components of a business model and plan aren't rigid. The terms business model, business strategy, mission and vision can be used in various ways across the business world. You can also point out that in some engineering contexts, business model might refer to the functional organization of teams and projects such as agile or traditional models. Facilitate a discussion with your students about the importance of a business and its owners defining their purpose and long-term goals. Help them distinguish between a company's mission, its present activities, and its vision, its future aspirations. Finally, discuss with students why understanding a company's mission, vision, and values is essential when applying for a job. Mission, vision, and values are the foundational elements of a new enterprise. They require careful consideration and investment of time, as any changes to them would significantly impact the business. They're not just abstract concepts. They play a vital role in guiding product or service development and selecting the appropriate revenue model. They also influence how a company interacts with potential investors, ensuring alignment in values and expectations. Company values also shape employee behavior and interactions with customers. These values might include integrity, respect, honesty, and fairness. They can also reflect a company's commitment to diversity and inclusion, supporting underrepresented or marginalized groups. They influence why someone would want to work or to not work for you, and if a customer will buy from you. You could use your college's mission, vision, and values as a practical example to explore these concepts. Emphasise that companies, like people, are judged by their behaviour. Students can compare and contrast the two example robotic startups in the learner resource. How do the values of each company support their missions and visions? Who might the target markets be for each startup? The product or service and the revenue model begin to answer the important questions about how a business will deliver the mission and the vision. There are many selling or revenue models which students should know, including combinations of the following elements. A product is anything that's sold or leased to customers, which may include software, equipment, or consumable parts. A consumer is a customer who purchases a product or service for personal use. Business means a customer who purchases a product or service for commercial use. Partner or distributor is a company through which your product is sold. Selling means the customer owns the product after one or more payments. Subscription is a model where the customer pays a monthly fee to use the product. Leasing is when the customer pays to have and use the product but does not own it. Service is a task for which customers pay instead of selling or leasing a product. Product as a service means instead of selling or leasing a product, a company provides a service that achieves the same outcome. A simple example is providing a software as a service. Regardless of model, entrepreneurs must also decide whether to operate for profit or as a social enterprise or charity, non-profit. Ask students to list engineering products from the smallest they can think of, for example, a tiny part for a sensor, to the largest, a wind turbine or ship. Discuss why product as service may be valuable to customers. They avoid large upfront costs and can spread the cost by regular payments or paying on demand. Students can compare and contrast the two robotic startup examples in the learner resource. What's the difference between their business offer and the revenue models they're adopting? Business models are not static. Companies often need to adapt or innovate their business models to remain competitive and meet evolving customer needs. Let's look at a case study you can use with your students to illustrate this. A company selling CNC machines with maintenance contracts faces challenges from rapid innovation and cost pressures. To address this, they launch a new enterprise offering CNC machining services for low-volume production alongside their existing business to gain a competitive edge. You can find more details about the case study in the learner resource. You may want to ask students to discuss companies that have static business models who've not moved with the times. Are they still doing well? Once you've looked at this case study with your students, you could complete the following tasks and questions with them. Identify what key values this new enterprise will offer for customers. Suggest whether the new enterprise needs a different set of values. In any engineering enterprise, it's important to step back from specific product or innovation ideas and look at the purpose of the business. By understanding the fundamentals of business models and how they can be adapted, your students will be better able to define a new enterprise's purpose from the outset to ensure its product or service decisions fulfill its purpose.